in preparing ourselves for Gimel Tammuz and in continuation of the previous two clips that I made about those that consider themselves smarter than Chabad, be it those intellectual individuals, those emotional individuals, those Spitz Chabad, who push the button of their prestige and their pedigree and background as a reason to be able to do what they want, to say what they want. I want to address one final point in this clip. And I say to emphasize the good, not the bad. But if you don't say it the way it is, there can be confusion. And we know from the Rebbe's famous Sicha on Parshas Noach that the Torah has to say clearly these are the kosher animals and they're not kosher animals, when it's just kind of repeating not a story, but what took place in the Torah during Noach's time. But when it comes to Parsha Shemini, well, we're talking about the animals that are kosher, not kosher. The other Torah says these are the non-kosher animals, clearly, treif animals. Why? Because there you have to be very clear. So I need to be clear. And the third issue that I want to discuss is the idea of intimacy and sexuality. In this debate that these two genius Chabadniks who laud Rabbi Yoel Kahn, but then say clearly that we know better than him, and if people knew what we were really thinking, they wouldn't, step near us. Chabadniks wouldn't. It happens to be that one of them in this discussion says clearly about sexual frustration, etc. My dear friends, I could tell you from people that I studied and wrote about, Reb Shlomo Carlebach, Reb Zalman Schachter, who already are in Gan Eden and have done tshuva, but while they were alive, the issues that really caused issues for them was intimacy, was relationships, was marriage. For more about that, I urge you to read and watch the clips that I've made about that. There's no question about it. You don't get married at the regular age of getting married, man and woman, boy and girl. You start feeling differently, and you have all kinds of thoughts. And you find loopholes and justifications, and you become angry. So to all you Chabad-Lubavitcher guys, get married. Find a girl, a kosher girl, a girl who's better than you. And I say that because Rabbi Soloveitchik said it. Rabbi Joseph Ber, Yasha Ber Soloveitchik said, if not for his wife, he wouldn't be grounded. The genius, Rabbi Soloveitchik, who came from Rabbi Chaim Brisker, who came from Chaim Volozhin, who came from the Vilna Gaon, with everything else that the brisk movement brings about, he said that if not for his wife, Tanya, he would be off in left field. Now, if he could say it, surely you, Chevra, who are so smart, you can definitely say it and should say it. When you find a wife that's better than yourself, that's more religious than yourself, and more honest than yourself, she will keep you grounded as long as you're not an animal, and as long as you're not a nasty person. Listen to your wife. Shema b'koyla, it says in the Holy Torah. Avram listened to Sarah, and that brought him the blessing. So when you talk about the frustration of sexuality, it's your own issue, my friend. Who asked you to be 35 to 45 and 50 and not and unmarried and then have issues? So therefore you start justifying intellectually this and that. That's one point. The other point is that when it comes to intimacy, even those that are married, what's this business of marrying, God forbid, a non-Jew? I mean, this is like outrageous. You know where you come from. You know better. You're a grub jung. You know what a grub jung means. You're a malataiva. You know what a malataiva means. You're an indulgent animal. So you drop your religion, you drop your family, you drop your beliefs, you drop the Rebbe, and you're not ashamed to stand at the Ohel and daven to the Rebbe and to Hashem, living with a goy, with a non-Jew, a great person, but she's not for you. Now, how is it that you can even walk the streets of Crown Heights and speak that way? Shame on you. Be embarrassed of what you did. Don't show your face and do tshuva. And you could do tshuva. You know how? Drop her. She's the best person. Drop her, but it's not for you. And when our chevra, amongst many other Orthodox from people in the Litvish community, the Hasidic community, it's a plague that we're going through now. But I'm talking to us Lubavitchers, boys and girls, Bacharim and girls. You went through Lubavitcher Yeshiva, you went through Alitera, you went through Beis Rivka. You know the system. There are issues, there are questions. There's always going to be questions. Find a friend, find a Mashpia, find a rabbi, find a parent, find someone who you can talk to. I was sitting Shavuos 6:30 and 7:70, and someone came over to me from a prominent home, and he spilled the beans. I smelled the alcohol on him, but he was, not completely blasted. And he opened up. Listen, there are people that are willing to listen. So when we talk about, intimacy and sexuality and marriage and divorce, why are some people divorcing their wives, their husbands with children, good people, and going, why? They're running away with other men and other women. They're going to other men and other women. Why? They're not satisfied. They're not happy. The Torah says there's a time for divorce. We understand that. But most of the time, it's because something is inside you, is bothering you, is not happy. And I understand that. But the answer is not rebellion of God and rebellion of Chasidis. When we had the fiasco of Kol the Shofar, back, I think, in 2000, 2001, Rabbi Yoel spoke then. And what did Rabbi Yoel said? Searching is a good thing, but search in our own books, in Tanya, in Chasidis. It's there. Just take any pedic in Tanya, any chapter in Tanya. I promise you, if you'll be honest and thoughtful and have quiet and think about what it says there, you'll find an answer for your issue. You will. I wrote a book called Tanya on Mental Health. I identified one or two ideas per chapter, 53 chapters. Read the book. Not because I wrote it. I'm just opening up what the Alter Rebbe said and just exploring it, elaborating. So I really hope that in the light and spirit of Gimel Tammuz, when we so connect to the Rebbe, the tzaddik, the Nasi Hadoir, the symbol of honesty, purity, holiness, Mashiach, Torah, Nigla, Talmud, Chasidus, Kabbalah, Musar, ethics. We have thousands and thousands of pages of writing from the Rebbe. Don't be lazy. Open up a Lakuti Siches, open up a Maimer, open up an Igros Kodesh. It's in all languages today, in many languages. The Mashpia would say the mushel, there's the ostrich, the bird. It's a very tall bird that has a very long neck. Hashem makes a wind come and blows it next to the water, and there's water, and it's hungry, it's thirsty, but it's too lazy to bend its neck down, so it remains thirsty. Chevra, Chassidus has the answers. Chassidus brings fulfillment. Chassidus brings marriage. Learn Chassidus. Think Chassidus. Daven with Chassidus. Talk Chassidus. And you'll see, if you just surrender the yesh, the ego, that you could be the biggest intellect and the biggest philosopher, and you can read, but Chassidus will ground you. Just like Rabbi Soloveitchik said, my wife grounds me. She keeps me on earth. She keeps me normal. You want to be normal? You don't want to be an old man, an angry old man, frustrated and angry at the world. That's what's going to happen. The trajectory of these type of interviews and these type of people walking around, and on one hand saying, "Oh, we come from Gesher Chabad, we came from Spitz Chabad, we're Spitz Chabad," or we understand, we learned to Rabbi Yoel Kahn, and we know this and we know that. At the end of the day, they're all frustrated, angry, unhappy people, every single one of them. Just like Reb Shlomo Carlebach and Reb Zalman Schachter were very unhappy, and they passed away that way. They might have not told you that, but you watch that interview I did with Zalman Schachter, and you will detect and hear that he's not happy. And Baruch Hashem, the last years of his life, there was a little shift towards, coming back, and that's why Baruch Hashem, he passed away and was buried like not just a Yid, but with the Chevra Kadisha and with the standards of Lubavitch, etc., etc. Anyway, the bottom line is that it's Gimel Tammuz coming, and we have to farbrengen together. Yes, those that are apikursim, those who want to be apikursim, heretics, want to be heretics, those that want to be apostates, those that want to be sophisticated, running around and doing whatever they want. Come on, let's farbrengen. Let's take a little l'chaim. Let's sing a Chasidism shinigin, and let's say we're willing to start anew, the paradigm shift. L'chaim, l'chaim. Hashem should help that we should only keep on preparing ourselves and following b'darkei Rabbeinu Nisiyenu, the way of the Rebbe, and we'll see Mashiach Tzidkenu b'korav mamish. Amen.